Welcome to the Cow Corporation's series of videos about software engineering. The topic of this video is obtaining a map item by indexing. Before proceeding, make sure that you have already watched these other videos first. A map can be indexed by key. This is essentially the same as a dictionary's lookup operation, where a key is input to the lookup operation and it outputs the value that's associated with that key. STL's maps provide three methods in which you could do indexing. The first method uses the C language's array bracket symbols. The second method passes the key as a parameter to this at function. And the third method calls this find function, which returns an iterator to the item in the collection which has the requested key. The array bracket symbols and the at function both provide a reference to the value. Thus, all three of these indexing methods could be programmed on the left-hand side of an assignment statement, which changes that item's value. However, if the map had been a constant, then a constant reference would have been obtained and the value would have been read-only. By causing an item's value to change, you will be causing STL to internally reorganize some data so that everything is still ordered according to the map's sort class. But that concern is internal to STL. As a programmer, you don't need to worry about it. So far, these examples have all assumed that requested key is being used by one of the items in the map. But what if it isn't? What if none of the map's items are using that key? Well, then what happens will depend on which indexing method you're using. If the C language array bracket symbols are used with a non-existent key, then a new item is automatically inserted into the map collection. That new item's key will be that key the programmer had written within the array bracket symbols. That new item's value will default to 0. This array indexing expression, map ci var of c, will then evaluate to that 0. If your array expression is on the left-hand side of an assignment, then that default value of 0 would get immediately overwritten. If you call the at function, passing it a key that's not being used by any of the map's items, then the at function will throw an exception. If the find function is being passed a key that doesn't exist in any of the map's items, then the find function returns a null iterator. This find function is more efficient than STL's find algorithm because this find function is aware of the collection's data structure. Like a vector, a map also supports iteration from endpoints, called begin and end. But there is no direct indexing of those endpoints. In other words, a map does not have any front or back function. The data type of a map's key is one of the template parameters. In these examples, that type has been char. So when you do indexing, you generally must specify some char, which is the key that you're requesting to look up. But beginning in C++14, you no longer need to specify exactly a char. Now, you only need to specify something that can be coerced into a char.